tell us which part to go back to, right? You will call out the letter we gotta go back to, right? We gotta, relate. We always put our grades on. Okay. What was it? A. Here we go.
Please stand and remain standing for the posting of color, Pledge of Allegiance, and the playing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you, Emma, for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Emma Mullins is our Student Government President. Before proceeding, we want to remind everyone that this graduation ceremony is being live streamed. Parents, guardians, families, friends, school officials, staff members, and most importantly, you, the graduating class of 2026. Today is a celebration of your hard work and commitment to graduate. To allow all of our graduates the opportunity to receive full recognition of their efforts, we kindly ask that all attendees remain seated until the final graduate has exited the gym. Early departures create congestion in the lobby, distract from our graduates' moment, and delays graduates from being able to collect their diploma after the ceremony. School staff and security ushers will be stationed at each exit and available to assist in the event of an emergency. At the end of the ceremony, exits will be temporarily closed until all graduates have exited the gym. Thank you for helping us keep our graduates the focus of this special occasion. Good day, everyone. My name is Ebony Stallings, and I am the proud interim principal of the Northeastern High School, home of the Mighty Eagles. Now, on behalf of the students and staff, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to celebrate the 56th commencement ceremony of Northeastern High School class of 2026. I would like to give a special thanks to the Elizabeth City State University faculty and staff for allowing us to use their facility, Viking Pride. We extend our gratitude to parents, grandparents, guardians, and to all those who care for these students, and most especially to you, the graduates, as we celebrate this significant milestone in your life. Thank you for choosing Northeastern High School, for allowing us these years with you, and for helping to make them memorable. You will note that many of our students have received a variety of cords and pins placed on their stoles. These items were earned for the work completed in high school classes and presented earlier this month. Listed in your program are students' names, awards, and a key to the awards earned. Congratulations to all of our students. We take great pride in each of your accomplishments and celebrate your successes today. Taylor Lewis Waleed will now come forward to acknowledge our stage guests. Taylor.
It is my honor to introduce and recognize our stage guests who have joined us to commend this class. Students on the stage are Emma Mullins, Daniela Marquez, Catherine Hutto, Destiny Banks, Jonathan Nguyen, and Esperanza Pariga. Honored guests are the members of the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Board of Education and Administration, staff, and students. Please stand to be recognized as I call your names. From our Board of Education, School Board Chair, Ms. Angela Cobb. Vice Chair, Ms. Pam Pereza. And board members, Ms. Valerie Bogues. Ms. Angelique Bolin, Mr. Tommy Old, Ms. Sharon Warden, and Dr. Sheila Williams. Our district administrators are Superintendent Dr. Keith Parker, Associate Superintendent of Human Resources, Mrs. Rachel Haynes, Assistant Superintendent of Finance, Ms. Candy Tilley, and Executive Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Katina Waples. Thank you all for your support and commitment to our students.
Please welcome our valedictorian, Daniela Marquez, as she introduces our superintendent.
Dr. Keith Parker graduated from East Carolina University with a bachelor's and master's degree in history education and a doctorate in educational leadership. During his career in public education, he has served as a high school history teacher, elementary and middle school principal, secondary school director, and assistant superintendent. Dr. Parker is a strong believer that Eastern North Carolina is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. He believes that by investing in our greatest resource, our young people, we will ensure a strong future for our community, our region, and our state. Please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Keith Parker.
Good morning, everyone. And I want to thank Daniela for that wonderful introduction there. And I just want to start out by saying I couldn't be more proud of these almost 200 young people sitting in front of me today, the class of 2026. Would you give them another round of applause? And as I look out on the faces of these young people, many of whom I've had an opportunity to get to know over the past 4 years, I can't help but take my mind back and think about when I sat in a similar place, when I was 18. But graduates, if you think about it, when you started this whole thing called school, it was roughly 13 years ago when you walked into a kindergarten classroom. I think that boils down to about 14,000 hours, give or take, that you spent in a school classroom. That's probably about 2,500 days that you went to school. And it's probably an untold number of experiences, friendships, memories, things that all came together to shape you and make you into the person that's sitting right here today. And after all of that, the moment has come, and here we are. We're here today as you celebrate, and we celebrate with you the closing of one chapter, but the opening of a new one. As Ms. Stalin said, you are the 56th graduating class of this historic high school for our community, and you come here this morning honoring the legacy of those who came before you, many of whom that came before you are sitting in the stands here today. And as I look at you and I think back to when I was there, I can't help but wonder if I could somehow roll the clock back or have some kind of time machine. If I could go back in time, would I go back and be 18 again? I don't know. But if I could take what I know now and go back, I might do it all over again. But that's not how life works. There's no way that you can know it all at once. Instead, it's a series of experiences that will continue to shape you. You know, for me and my brother, when we sat where you are, we were the first two in our family to go to college in the history of our family. And my parents grew up as sharecroppers in a very poor area in Johnston County. And as I sat where you sat, I felt the weight of my family and responsibility on me. I knew I wanted to do something with my life, but I knew nothing about the world and what was to come. And as I walked into the hallways of East Carolina University when I graduated, I met people from all over the country, many of whom had been born in wealthy circumstances, had had experiences. And when I first got there, I felt insecure about some of my background. I didn't feel like I was as good as some of the people that I met, but I came to learn otherwise. And I would encourage you, class of 2026, wherever you go or whatever room you walk into, I want you to have the confidence to know that you belong there just as much as anybody else in that room. And you know, as you continue to go on from today, I would encourage you, I'm going to leave you with a piece of advice here and then I'm going to close. But one thing I have learned from all those years ago is that you don't become the person you want to be overnight. It does take time, and it's going to take a combination of success and failure to come together to make you the person you want to be. And in those moments of success, class of 2026, I invite you to be humble and recognize that when you have success and accomplishment, you didn't get there by yourself. It was people that came along with you and poured into you and pushed you. Don't forget those people in your moments of success. When you walk into the moments of failure, and there will be those in your life, try to remember in that moment that those moments of failure are pushing you, they are testing you, they are making you become an even stronger person. And as I think back, I shared this last night with the graduating class, but as I think back about the moments in my life where I failed, where I made the wrong decision, where I thought about if I could go back, I would have done that over. I think about my grandmother who comes to my mind. And my grandmother and my mother today have been praying women, and they prayed for me and my brothers constantly to help us get where we are. I would imagine we have some praying grandmothers and mothers in the house today. And in moments where I have failed, I think about my grandmother who would quote from the book of Romans, and she would say this in a way to say that you have to recognize the failure is a part of the success. Without the failure, there wouldn't be success. And I remember my grandmother praying, and she would say, and could quote it from heart from the book of Romans, she would say, "We know that all things work together for good, for them who love God and are called to His purpose." And class of 2026, don't ever forget that when things get tough and you feel like your back is against the wall, in the times when you made the wrong choice and you wish you could take it back, never forget that especially in those times, the good Lord has called you to a higher purpose, and He's going to have your back in those moments. Be encouraged on that, and know that all things work together for good, and they would keep doing that for you. Class of 2026, I want you to go forward with a spirit of confidence. I want you to be grounded in the fact that regardless of what your pathway becomes, you're always going to be the 56th graduating class of Northeastern High School. Those experiences at Northeastern have come together to prepare you for what's next. You are ready for that next chapter. And I want you to rise with the occasion and never stop believing that the things that make you unique and special are important, and we should honor those things. But go forward today recognizing that the things that bring us all together in this world, the things that unite us, they matter much, much more. Class of 2026, congratulations, God bless you, and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Parker. I would now like to welcome our salutatorian and student board member representative, Catherine Hutto, as she introduces our next speaker.
Thank you, Mrs. Stallings. It is my honor to introduce Mrs. Angela Cobb, Chair of the ECPPS Board of Education. Mrs. Cobb was an educator for 30 years, with her last 18 years spent right here in ECPPS. Mrs. Angela Cobb has been on the Board of Education since December of 2022 and has served as board chair since June of 2023. She previously served as an English teacher, AIG facilitator, and principal at both Weeksville Elementary and Northeastern High School, where she retired at the end of 2020. Mrs. Cobb has 4 children, a wonderful daughter-in-law, a son-in-law, and 2 grandsons, Elijah and Emery, who are the apples of her eye. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Cobb.
Good morning. On behalf of the Board of Education, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to this wonderful, awesome, excitement-filled event. There's nothing quite like a graduation, especially a Northeastern High School graduation. High school is a blank canvas where you begin. Over the course of 4 years, memories and experiences are stitched together like a quilt that covers you over time and warms your soul. I know a little bit about NHS graduations, and so do 4 of our board members. We all graduated from Northeastern High School, and we can speak from experience. And we all have special memories from our Eagle days as part of our life's quilt. Memories like that one time in chemistry class where you spilled acid on the lab table and your teacher came over and he leaned in to help explain the assignment, and you slowly watched the acid eat a hole in his tie and creep up his tie while he was explaining the assignment to you? That was me. Chemistry was the only class I almost failed in high school. Or that one time when, as a new underclassman, you sat in the senior pit, because back in the day, and those of you in the audience know, there was a senior pit at Northeastern High School. Underclassmen could not sit there, and if you did, sometimes the senior class would pick you up and put you out. Miss Bogues knows about that, right, Miss Bogues? Or when your teacher used to go out for smoke breaks, because there was a smoking section for teachers and students, and you and your classmates would steal all the butterscotch candy out of his desk drawer while he was gone. Well, he knew, didn't he, Mr. Old? Or how about the fact that your bus driver could have been a senior in your class? Students drove buses, and I'm sure that Miss Warden has some serious stories about that one. Or on game days, the cheerleaders wouldn't dress out, so they helped fold the football uniforms in the laundry room. One of the coaches had actually done his personal laundry and forgotten to take it out of the dryer. Miss Pereza and her other cheerleader teammates would never have walked in the gym wearing his underwear over their clothes. Or would they? Right, Miss Pereza? Or finally, there was that time as a principal when the entire Fellowship of Christian Athletes group showed up on your front porch for snacks, and you invited them in and fed them all. These are all patchwork pieces on a quilt. Catherine, can you come help me for a minute? High school is a lot like a quilt. No single piece of fabric tells the whole story. Instead, it is stitched together from hundreds of moments, some bright and colorful, some worn and faded, some carefully planned, and some that seemed insignificant at the time. Every class, every friendship, every victory, every disappointment, every teacher, every parent who believed in you, and every challenge you overcame becomes another patch in the quilt of your life. As you leave here today, you may not fully appreciate the beauty of the quilt that you have created, but one day, when you look back, you will see how all of these different pieces fit together to make something strong, unique, and entirely your own. Congratulations, class of 2026. Fly high, Eagles, fly high.
Thank you, Mrs. Cobb. Our last speakers for this morning are recipients of the Cooper McLeese Awards. The recipients are Destiny Banks and Jonathan Wynn. We will begin with Destiny Banks.
Good morning, everyone. First, I want to thank God for allowing me to stand here today and for receiving the Cooper McLeese Award. As Eagles, we've always been taught to soar. Eagles are known for their strength, vision, resilience, and ability to rise above storms instead of running from them. While other birds may seek shelter during difficult weather, eagles use the storm to lift themselves even higher. I think that perfectly represents the class of 2026, because our freshman year was the first year where everything went back to normal in ECPPS during COVID, meaning no masks or social distancing. So imagine that culture shock we all felt as ninth graders. We faced challenges, pressure, uncertainty, and change, yet we still found a way to rise above it all. For me personally, this journey was not always clear. Being a pastor's kid while navigating high school during this generation and this society was not easy at all. There were expectations, pressure, opinions, and moments where it felt hard to simply be myself. But through it all, my support system reminded me of who I was. I want to thank those closest to me, but especially my mom, dad, and sister for always pouring into me and standing beside me no matter what. I also want to give a special thank you to all of the NHS staff members who encouraged me throughout all 4 years of high school and constantly reminded me to be myself and never allow anyone to take that away from me. Those words meant more to me than you probably realize. And to the class of 2026, job well done. 4 years ago, we walked into high school trying to figure out where our classes were. Now we're walking out trying to figure out life. Some of us are heading to college, some are starting careers, and some are still trying to discover exactly who they want to be. And honestly, that's okay. Life is not a race, and success does not look the same for everybody. Before I leave this stage, I want you all to remember one thing. I'm just standing here to tell everybody about somebody we can always depend on as we continue our journey, and that somebody is Jesus Christ. I believe that if we keep God first, there is absolutely nothing this world can do to stop us. Not the challenges we'll face, not the doubts we'll have, and not even the negative things people say about our generation. People may criticize our generation, underestimate us, or doubt our potential, but let's be the class that proves them wrong. Let's show them that the future is in good hands and that this world will be just fine with us leading the way. So don't be afraid of what comes next. Continue to believe in yourselves even on the days when things feel uncertain. Continue to trust God's timing, continue to work hard, and continue to be yourself. Remember, eagles don't ask permission to soar. They just spread their wings and trust where the winds takes them. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it, y'all.
Thank you, Destiny. We will now hear from Jonathan Nguyen.
Hello, good morning. I'm gonna try to keep this speech short because I know we're all ready to get out of here. This speech will be more of a thank you than some type of moral lesson because I feel that God gave me this opportunity for that very reason. First, I want to thank God for allowing me this opportunity to speak on this stage and for helping me through all life challenges. I also want to thank and recognize everyone in the stands today. Thank you for showing up and making this moment feel special for your loved ones. Next, I want to thank all the faculty and staff at Pasquotank County, from Ms. Blake putting me in a headlock for getting a B instead of an A, to Mr. Chapman always being there to open the weight room for those early morning workouts and going beyond the role of a school counselor. There are countless other names I could mention, but these are just a few examples of these educators going beyond their titles. Next, I want to thank my family. Thank you for always being there for me and for giving me a love that's indescribable. I'm truly blessed to have a family that supported me through all stages of life. Through good times and hard times, you've been a constant source of strength and guidance and love. Each of you has impacted me in your own ways, and I wouldn't be the person I am today without all of you. I truly can't thank you enough. I want to give special recognition to my mom for being the strongest, kindest, and most selfless person I know. Thank you for always loving me, even when loving me was a challenge. Thank you for being there through everything, always believing in me, and always putting me and my brothers before yourself. Thank you, and I love you. Last but not least, I want to thank my dad. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, but I didn't put him last because of this, because of his absence or because I forgot about him. God knows how much I think about him every day. I put him last because I didn't know if I could finish this part of my thank you without stopping. I want to thank my dad for everything, for being there for me and my brothers no matter what, for showing up even when he didn't have to, for coming to all my sporting events and award ceremonies even when you didn't have to, or even when I sat the bench or didn't receive anything at all. You made it feel like I received everything. Thank you for teaching me not to take life so seriously and for reminding me that all things come to pass. Thank you for your sacrifices you made, the opportunities you created, and the example you set by always putting my family first. As you told me countless times, as long as you're happy, I'm happy. I'm truly blessed to be your son, and if I had 1 billion more lives, I'd choose you in every single one of them. Thank you, Dad, and I love you always.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now for the certification of the class. Superintendent Parker, Chair Cobb, and members of the Elizabeth City Pasquotank Board of Education, these students have completed all credits as required by state and local guidelines and are students in good standing at Northeastern High School. It is my privilege to present to you the 2026 candidates for graduation. As a reminder to our graduates, there will be no disruptive behavior tolerated as you walk across the stage. If this happens, you will be escorted out. Row 1, please stand. Summa cum laude, Evangeline Rose Allison. Ayana Nakai Asika. Destiny Janae Banks. Kaylee Nicole Burgard. Carlos Jonathan Diaz Bravo. Makaira Sanai Harrell. Our salutatorian, Catherine Olivia Hutto. Our valedictorian, Daniela Rivera Marquez. Cameron Aaliyah McKenzie. Madison Elizabeth Montgomery. Emma Marie Mullins. Briley Elizabeth Munden. Jonathan Ty Wynn. Peyton Mon Paris. Genesis Perez Sanchez. Allison Marie Pereza. Julia Valerie Gregorita Tibu. Jemiah Mackenzie White. Magna cum laude, Michael Javon Everett Jr. Kaylee Maya Jones. Nichelle Driona Owens. Nashaya Maxwell. Cody Scott Webb. Sanai Tanasia Wrighton. Cum laude, Tayton Cruz Bassnight. Makai Lee Baum. Travion Jamar Brothers. Jaden Haley Hersick. Don't cry, baby. Shawana Tashanika Hoffler. Taylor Marie Lewis Waleed. Kylan James Moore. Simone Ariana Mosley. Antonio Michael Sanchez. Lamont Terry Stanley. Zenaria Aaliyah Whitehurst. Yep. Let's give our honor grads another round of applause. Sanai Lene Lovejoy. Leanna Marley Mansfield. John Thomas McDaniels. Kenneth James Broxton. They gotta wait. Lakeshi Shanta Davis.
Dwayne Kaleem Adolph. Dulce Maria Aguilar Izquierdo. Ivion Christian Nazir Armstrong. Jamariana Jashana Armstrong. Jarmirius Takeem Arnold. Gabriel Matthew Balance. Jalen Marquis Barcliffe. Jeremy Marquise Barcliffe. Jamora Barrow. Devon Kelly Bennett Jr. Kavion Bennett. Dante Demir Phillips. Amaya Grace Blades Lewis. Kendall Markayla Bond. Amila Ann Bonds. Josiah Jameer Zion Brooks Privat. Cameron Darrell Brothers Jr. Lola Nicole Carpenter. Tiana Ari Carter. Andrea Marie Cassidy. Danae Anaya Ray Cherry. Nidira Victoria Cole. Owen Duke Collins. Naylina Neve Contreras. Legina Aisha Apple Correa. Elena Monique Cowell. Taylor Nicole Culver. Jermaine Javon Dashiel, Jr. Malia Ranche Dashiel. Kyle Newfield Dominguez. Deontay Lamont Edwards, Jr. Okay. Kyrie Shakir Evans. Quene Mary Felton. Tamia Jasmine Fisher. Isis Kalaisha Latanya Freeman. Gabriela Maybell Burgess Vasquez. Brandy Jasmine Garcia Vasquez. Jamez O'Brien Gibbs. Zamaya Amari Glasper. Ryan Douglas Gray. Namisha Travani Griffin. Colby Aisling Meadow Guys. Josiah Dante Guy. Tiaja Ariana Hall. Denila Naomi Hampton. Cheyenne Sky Hardison. Congrats. Uzziah Christian Harney. Kalia Charisma Javon Whitley Hicks. Jariah Renee Hinton. Jordan Lee Hickson. Jatavion Zamir Hoffler. Jonte Jakari Hoffler. Thank you. Skylar Lee Jackson. Ian Darnell James. Jonathan Martinez Olin Harigi. Aiden Ethan Johnson. Lanissa Samaria Jones. Nashawn Sincere Kirksey. Yasmin Anaya Lee Knight.
Brian Wyatt Lane. Ha Lee. Dejan Derico Zion Laquan Lee. Shane Keith Lilly. Desmond Xavion Eugene Lynch. Jalen Devon Mallory. Elijah John Manley. Syasia Deani McCoy. Sharika Renee Miller. Donnell Dawan Moore Jr. Isaac Morales Mendez. Malia Lene Morris. Janaya Khalees Mullen. Ethan Alexander Myers. Jalen Decatur Myers Ash. Esperanza Gabriela Paraga. Emma Grace Patton. Jose Ricardo Perez Garcia. Zamani Jalil Person. Derek Noel Portillo Ravel. Dominique Robert Charles Price Jr. Aaliyah Faith Pravat. Isaiah Devon Pruden. Javius Tamel Makai Quidley. Zion DeKale Reddick. Trinity Faith Richardson. Kai Jariah Riddick. Promise Nichelle Riddick. Raphael Shavar Riddick Jr. Tanasia Janaya Robinson. Tracy Lupito Romero Hernandez. Jalicia Rosario Geis. Amani Najee Saunders. Tylenia Marie Saunders. Trayvon Zion Sessoms. Timothy Edward Shepard III. Devin Goodwin Shreves. Fred Roosevelt Skinner III. Keyshawn Ladante Skinner. Stanley Lee Skinner III. David Lee Smith III. Kayla L. Smithley. Cesar Sosa Diaz. Dejon Gerard Spivey. Lydia Grace Sproul. Dominique Delantry Stallings, Jr. Lamont Terry Stanley. Patience Gabrielle Thomas. Cesar Velasquez Hernandez. DeQuell Zamari Najee Washington. LaRon Shaheem Welch. Nevaeh Christina Welch. Cameron Royal Reninger. Latrell Tavon Whitby. Xavier Zante Whitby. Zacoby Amari Whitby. LaTroy Tyrell Whitby Jr. Anijah Janae White. Blake Taylor Williams. Lanaya Monet Williams. Manuela Sophia Zimmerman.
Let's give the class of 2026 another round of applause. Before we proceed with the final traditions of our graduation ceremony, I'd like to again remind everyone in the audience to please remain in the stands until the graduates have cleared the auditorium before exiting. You may meet your graduates at the front of the building. At this time, our senior class president, Esperanza Paraga, will come forward to execute the final graduation honor.
All right, class of 2026, please rise. All right, graduates, on the count of 3, you may turn the tassels from right to left. 1, 2, 3.
Dr. Parker, please join me at the podium. Dr. Parker, it is my honor and pleasure, through the power conferred on me by the state of North Carolina, to declare that the members of the class of 2026 are now graduates of the Northeastern High School.